just the obsession of people watching. And the only reason I go on that point quite a lot, because I was one of those people. And I still, have you ever had a Evgeny conversation? You know, when you sit yourself down and you have a proper conversation with yourself and you say something must change. And maybe I'm just the only weird one, but I had one of those conversations in my second year at the RNCM in my bachelor's. And I was just obsessed with what he's playing and what she's playing. And, I want to play the same piece. He's playing and I was obsessed with this. And I realized over time, I was just getting depressed. I was just, oh God, I'm playing this, I'm playing this concerto.
That hit me really hard.
Well, of course. And it would with anybody. But I remember sitting myself down and thinking, you need to stop giving a bleep that out about what other people are doing and just do your thing. Do what you want to do and stop trying to explain yourself to people and why you're playing this piece. Why are you playing this concerto? Because I love it. It's none of your business why I'm playing it. And,
it was the same,
I promise
the same
you,
with me, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I promise you, I've never been happier since I stopped caring what other people are doing.
But the thing is that with me, I think for you it may be even slightly different because you already had spent a few years here before going into college, but I was just fresh off of the boat, as they say.
Fresh off the boat,
Yeah, and my first year and most of second year was like it was horrific in that sense because all of a sudden you're coming to a much larger stage, let's say, and if you used to be let's say the best or one of the best in your environment, now you need to compare yourself with everybody else. And you're like, you're fascinated with every skill that everybody else has, and you kind of like run yourself down with every masterclass, with every performance class. It's just like pushing you further down and down. And it was quite depressing.
The unprodigy realization is when you realize that you are just like everybody else, if anything worse.
Of course, as a musician, you feel that you're worse than everybody who is playing. Like you see only the negatives and stuff. We all familiar with that.
Not anymore. I honestly, you just don't care anymore.
But
that's the best way.
It's for sure the first year and a half that hit me, and then I think this is an element of personal growth that is essential for all of us. That we had to go through this. In order to find that, if he or she is doing this, that's amazing. They've got their own path. They've been doing this, and this is amazing for them. And I'm just doing me, and I try to do the best version of me as I can, and just be cool with that. Like, because you're obviously different, you come through a completely different environment and completely different circumstances. So why should you compare yourself to that? And then I think the next step to this is then identifying, okay, well, this is what makes my path unique. This is what I can give. And then basically trying to emphasize this and really build everything around it and own it, really.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going to be probably pretentious by saying this, but you're probably going to be much happier by not even comparing yourself to anything, or not even think about a path, or this toxic word that we've been brainwashed into using throughout every institution we're into, which is a career. I mean, what is a career? What defines success? I know for a fact that somebody learning, the first page of the Moonlight Sonata is a great success. To others, that's, oh God, he's only playing that. So this is what I mean. It's the idea of, does this guy have a career? Or does she have a career? And you think about, what is a career? Why are we so obsessed with the idea of a career? And it's just, I blame that on competitions.
You think?
Not competition as in, going and playing an international competition. I'm thinking it's the spirit of competing, which is we constantly have to feel like we're better than somebody else. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm not one of those people, but I'm saying it is quite sad that we're constantly wanting to be the best. In a way, I mean, it's admirable in another, and it's good to always, reach.
It can be very healthy, for sure. I think that actually, if you recognize the merits of others, and then if that inspires you to push yourself further, but don't look externally, but rather internally, then that can be a very valuable thing.
I agree with that.
But competing externally for the sake of just being over someone else, I think is a very destructive experience.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I'm saying it's the spirit of. I mean, sometimes I do find the industry can be so toxic that it kind of puts you off the most important part of why we do this. You know, when I picked up the piano at the age of 4, I did it because I fell in love with the instrument and I fell in love with music.
For sure.
Never did it occur to me that one day I'm going to be competing to get the job or competing to. I know it's the same thing in everything we do in life. I know that. I'm not an idiot, but it's sometimes I feel the more and more you go into the industry, the more you realize that it's.
To me, it's like to keep to the essence of why you started, to the passion, to the love for music, and to be fine and to be comfortable with not. It's like do you have the latest Gucci bag, or do you have this Chanel or whatever it is? Like it's not about where you play, but about sharing with the others. It doesn't matter where the next venue is, and lots of people are like also competing. Oh, but I played at Carnegie, I played at Concertgebouw, I played at whatever. But in the end, like, you can be playing for the small town hall or whatever it is, as long as you can share what you feel like, and your craft and the music, the passion that you've got. I think this is in the end what we all signed up for. This is the idea that initiated everything.
We obviously agree on the same point, but I'm just saying sometimes it's important to remind ourselves of that, and it's really important to not forget,
because it's this IG lifestyle, this kind of idolized world where it's like, oh, I'm just a jet setter going from place to place, playing with a big orchestra in the big halls, or whatever it is, in whichever industry it is. We all are guilty of this to an extent, but this is this competitive.
But unfortunately, the reason we have to do this is not just because we show off vain people only. It's because it is a fact in what we do. Looking busy and doing more concerts and so on somehow impresses those who are going to employ you. So, for example, I've had many conversations. Some of them with agents. Some agents say, if I go on somebody's website or the social media and so on, and find out that they're playing non-stop, somehow you automatically assume that they're better or more reliable musicians than the one that didn't have a concert, for about 3-4 months. And
maybe you chose to take a sabbatical.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's an obsession in the industry that the busier you look, somehow you're more successful. But that's what I'm saying. Success shouldn't be with the amount of concerts or with the with the orchestras you played with, or how many CDs you've recorded and so on. Right. I'm just picking your brain.
How would you define success then?
I think success it's a personal. It's very personal. Success is when you're satisfied with what you do, in which case a musician should never be successful. Success is a very subjective word. I for example, you could look at me and say he's not very successful. You go to my grandma and by God she'll tell you I'm successful. So it depends on how a person views success.
But that's always like the definition of happiness in a way. Like if you're feeling inwardly that this is what fulfills you, I'm doing what I want. Like this is a version of success. If this happens or that happens, it doesn't actually disturb what my experience of it. So it's internally driven.
But it's ultimately your decision at the end of the day.